Hey everybody, Rob with WePayOffDebt.ca coming at you to talk to you about the question, how do I deal with budgeting as a student? I want to control my money, Rob. I'm just starting school. It's September. I'm just going into my university career. I want to control my money. How do I do it? Okay, so that's the question we're addressing today. But before we do that, please go ahead and like and subscribe to this video. Really appreciate it. And go ahead and share it with any friends that you think might find it useful. Really trying to get some more excitement about the channel. Really trying to get some more interest in the channel. So definitely go ahead and share this. I'd really appreciate it. So you're a student. You're starting out. What do you do to be smart, to be wise with your finances? Number one is you've got to decide to stay away from debt. Debt is the key, is the thing that keeps so much from our lives. Debt is the thing that keeps so much out of our lives. It steals income from your future self. It keeps so many people broke. Stay away from debt. And you're just like, well, Rob, I took out student loans this year and that's how I'm going to university this fall. Okay, make it your goal to not borrow anymore. So what does that look like? So what could that look like? That might sound ridiculous to you, depending on who you are, depending on what your background is, right? So ask the question, what would that look like? So do something like this. Well, how much do you need for September's expenses, October, November, December? How much do you actually need to pay your bills, your household income? How much is due on your tuition in January? Take that total amount and divide that by 4. That's how much money you've got to make in the next 4 months to be able to pay January's tuition cash. Now, if you're just jumping into this and you can't do that, or you looks like you can't do that, try to keep an open mind. This is the thing that really surprises people, that when you have the default decision that I cannot go to school, I cannot do this without a student loan, I cannot do this without debt, then you can't. Having that choice made up in your mind, if I can't convince you otherwise, then you're going to get debt, and you're going to be just like everybody else who is saddled with student loan debt, who have loans around so long it's like having a pet. Right? Like they have this little yappy student loan in the corner that just keeps eating their money. Right? Like that's not what we want. It just steals from your future and your income and steals from you for the rest of your life. No, keep away from debt. So what does that look like? Like I said, divide out. How much do I need every month to live? How much do I need for my actual tuition and at what points? And divide out how many months I got to get there. Okay, how am I going to do that? Now, many people will look at that and say, well, Rob, I can't do that at my job. I flop Whoppers. I, deliver pizza. I do whatever it is. I can't make that money. Well, we got to be creative then. Okay. Now, the first and most important thing that if you're a student and you want to pay for school is scholarships. There are tons, and I mean tons of scholarships available. I'm actually on a particular committee with my work, and they have scholarships available, and their scholarships went unused because nobody applied. Like seriously, like this is the thing. There are so many scholarships available that people don't even apply for them. And if you turn your part-time, your second and third job into applying for scholarships, there's one story I just recently heard about on the Dave Ramsey show. They're talking about somebody who did this, and their average hourly wage, like if you divide out the scholarships they got, divided by the number of hours they spent doing it, worked out to about $900 an hour. You can't get that flopping Whoppers, right? So that's the number one thing. If you're a student and you're looking to go to school debt-free, start looking for and applying for scholarships. I mean a lot. Like literally, if you set a goal to apply for 1,000 scholarships in the next 4 months, what does that look like? That's $250 a month. What does that look like? Well, that's let's even make it easier. Let's say 50 a week. What would it look like to apply for 50 scholarships per week? How are you going to fit that in? Where's that going to be? Okay. So you start looking at scholarships as a real and viable way to make a serious income while you're in college. Another thing to keep in mind is, what do you do as a job? Like, if you're working flopping whoppers, what is that? Is that something you should do or not? Well, the only nice thing about that is, well, there's two things. One, take a look at your work. They might actually be willing to pay for part of your schooling. This does happen sometimes, where they have a program where they're actually offering to pay for part of your education as part of your benefits of working there. If that's there, definitely take advantage, right? Find out what you need to do, what kind of hours you need, or where you need to work, or what have you, to be able to take advantage of a plan like that. But second, if it's not there and all you're making is, $10 an hour, and you're like, it's taking up a lot of time and not giving you a lot of return, you could do something on the side. And what does that look like? Well, for instance, one thing I did was I tutored. I was pretty good in school, and I knew some stuff pretty well. And so there were things I could tutor. And so I actually put up little posters around campus, and I put up some ads on Kijiji, a Facebook Marketplace, whatever, to be able to be a tutor in whatever topic you know. And tutors, you can charge up to $25, $30, $35 an hour without too much issue there, right? So that definitely takes away from the amount of time you need to spend flopping whoppers, right? Next is starting to look at small side business opportunities. And that's, again, might sound ridiculous to you, but here's an example. If you could make $10 an hour flopping whoppers, or you can make the equivalent of about $30 an hour cutting lawns, right? If you spend $150 on a lawnmower, and then you use that and you drive around and you cut people's lawns. You just go up to their house, you say, hey, ding dong, I'm just a college student looking to make a little extra money. Notice your lawn needs to be cut. Would you be willing to do it would you be able to give me $30 to cut it? You're not going to get everybody, but you might get somebody, right? And the amount of per hour you can make doing that is pretty good. Now, as well with that, I mentioned earlier, if you're delivering pizzas, pizza delivery, the numbers come out that you can usually make about $1,500 a week delivering pizzas. And that seems, again, ridiculous, but that's a lot of money. Okay, so definitely look into that. Definitely look into if you've got a waitressing job, what would it take to get tips, and what would that look like? Okay, so hopefully that gives you some value. Hopefully you find that useful. If you've got any questions on that or other issues that you've run into, please go ahead and comment down below and let me know, or just send me an email, rob@WePayOffDebt.ca, and let me know. I'd be happy to help. I reply to every email I get. So thanks so much, guys. Have a good one. We'll talk to you again.